It's been almost a month now that we've been made aware of one, the author of Mob Psycho and One Punch Man, working on a new manga that's gonna be called Versus. And so, with this interesting news, I wanted to take the opportunity to talk about the manga, maybe do a preview of what we can expect from it, and also take a look back at his previous works and what he has been working on with his other mangas, notably Mob Psycho, One Punch Man, the manga, the webcomic, and the anime. Okay, so let's dive first into the news about the new manga that he's been working on, Versus. So, so the translation says, Versus. For hundreds of years, mankind has been oppressed by the rise and invasion of its natural enemy, the demon tribe. The world was ruled by the Demon King and his 47 subordinate Demon Kings. The people lived in fear, but they named 47 people selected from all over the world as heroes and prepared to fight against the great Demon King's army. And now, a desperate mission is about to begin, with the very survival of the human race at stake. So that's pretty much the what we have so far in the story. I mean, just as of today, a few minutes ago, the first chapter dropped, but it's only the Japanese version, and I took a look at it. It looks very interesting. I like the style, but it's too early to make a proper conclusion based on that. So I'll just make my own speculations based on what I've seen. I'll try to share some panels if by the time I post this video, the translation hasn't dropped. But yeah, the manga definitely seems as something that I think I would enjoy to read. So let me dive into the premise and what I think of it. So the premise of the manga seems very generic. When I first read it, I didn't really feel too good about the manga because I thought it was gonna be like another isekai, and that's something that feels different coming from one, because he's known to have been working on satire, but also some form of commentary mangas with One Punch Man and Mob Psycho. They're very much don't take themselves too seriously, but they provide a good commentary on how one can live his life if he feels like he's not finding fulfillment, or how one can push their limits by doing something that they know they're not that good at and try to get better. So the knowing that and then diving into the synopsis felt a bit weird, if I'm being honest, because I wasn't expecting the manga to or want to work on a manga that seems fantasy related. So based from the synopsis and what I've read of the first chapter, the manga is definitely um, fantasy manga, but it also has science fiction in it. You'll see towards the end. And I'm not gonna post too many panels of the manga because I'm waiting for the translation to drop to give a proper review of what I feel like it. But yeah, so based on the synopsis, I thought that it was gonna be a isekai, and sometimes they can be done well, but the creators tend to be very lazy when making them, and they take the route that's gonna generate them a lot of money. And the route that tends to generate a lot of money is to have an OP protagonist. From what I've seen, the protagonist of this manga is not OP at all. They tend to end up having a harem. Uh, this might come to it, but I don't think so. I don't think one is the type of writer to take that route. It can be done well, and I'll make a video of a manga where I feel like a protagonist has been done well in terms of a harem or something that can be somewhat realistic. But yeah, so based on that, I feel like the manga is sci-fi. It's very interesting. The main character is not OP, which I like. It's kind of refreshing because it's gonna be more focused on his growth, how he gets stronger, which is something that one can definitely do because we haven't seen him do it uh, head on. But with Mob Psycho still goes through character development by working on other areas of his life where he's not up to par with his psychic skills. So that's something that I'm looking forward to diving into and reading more to see what one is gonna do. But so, what does the drop of this new series say about the previous works? Or, I mean, there's only one work that one's fan have been looking at, expecting new chapters to drop, and that has been the webcomic One Punch Man, which for some is not something that they would want to read because of the art, but I encourage everybody that has read the manga and that likes it to read the webcomic, because in my opinion, in terms of storytelling, character development, even though it has less to work with, it's doing such a great job at fleshing out the characters and just laying the groundwork for the manga in the first place. And so I feel like it still did a much better job of having a more compelling story when it comes to Garo and other manga characters from One Punch Man. But yeah, so with the drop of this new series from One, I think that the webcomic is most likely over with. And it's kind of a sad news because there's one aspect of it that I wanted to really explore a lot more. Not the obvious one, and I'm probably gonna make a separate series just recapping the webcomic up to speed and then give my opinion on some aspects that what we could have had. Maybe do what if series. I'm not a big fan of what if series in mangas because sometimes people just take it too far, especially the busy what if series. It's just too much. But yeah, I feel like with the drop of this new manga, it's basically over for any hope of the webcomic continuing under One. The manga is definitely gonna keep on going because they have a lot of material to last for for years, in my opinion. But yeah, so I kind of feel sad about that. But at the same time, it's interesting to see One working on another type of project or story, which is a deviation from his main formula. And I hope that this series is going to be successful. I have high hopes for it, and I'll make another video. It's probably going to take some time, but I'll make a video about the chapter that's going to follow, or the translation of the first chapter, and I'll give my opinion on it and what I expect from it. I'm for sure going to be reading the manga every time it comes out and see how the story goes, how the story progresses. I'll keep you posted on that, and hopefully I get to also explore or give my insight on the One Punch Man, what I feel like the manga did right, what I feel like it did wrong, and why I think the webcomic is a better manga. So stay tuned for the next video, any other manga reviews that I do, because I plan on exploring or reviewing other mangas that I also really like and I feel like are interesting to read. Some are serious, some are not so serious, some they're entertaining for the wrong reasons, some for the right reasons. So stay tuned and hopefully you like this video.